Welcome to Global Power Play, where horsepower meets headlines.
Let's get to Canada and its threat to cut off energy exports to the U.S. and retaliation for Canadians. Now, you think about it percentage-wise, all the crude we import from around the world, the vast majority, Canada, 64% comes from Canada. So if Canada cuts electricity, that could drive up energy prices.
Today, we're taking a high-speed lap around an unexpected development in the world of energy. Canada's first ever LNG export to Asia. But this isn't just another shipment. It's a seismic shift in the global energy landscape, and it's happening right now. Let's dive into the details and explore how Canada is not only breaking free from U.S. energy dependence, but also stepping into the global energy spotlight. Canada breaks free, a new energy frontier. For decades, Canada has been almost tethered to the U.S. when it comes to energy. Every day, about 8.8 billion cubic feet of natural gas float across the border, generating billions in revenue, but also leaving Canada exposed to U.S. policy shifts and trade threats. From tariffs under the Trump administration to recent tax disputes, the writing was on the wall for a change. Enter LNG Canada, a $40 billion project co-led by Shell and major Asian giants like Petronas, Mitsubishi, and China's Petro. On June 30th, 2025, Canada's first LNG cargo made its historic voyage across the Pacific, bypassing the U.S. and heading straight to South Korea. This wasn't just another shipment, it was a declaration of independence. By avoiding choke points like the Panama Canal, Canada cut delivery times in half, from 20 days to just 10. This speed and stability give Canadian LNG a competitive edge that's highly attractive to Asian markets. On top of that, Canadian natural gas is cheaper than U.S. Henry Hub gas, making it an economic win as well as a geopolitical game changer. This is more than just energy exports. This is about establishing Canada as a key player on the global stage. A decade in the making. Let's talk about Kitimat, the site where it all comes together. The LNG terminal didn't happen overnight. Over a decade of planning, negotiations, and billions of dollars in investment set the stage for this monumental shift. Official construction began in 2018, with Shell and its 4 Asian partners backing the project. The pipeline powering this venture is the 670-kilometer coastal gas link, which channels natural gas from British Columbia's Montney region. The first LNG train was launched on June 22, 2025, with a capacity of 6.5 million tons annually, and by late 2025, the second train will push total output to 14 million tons per year. This puts Canada on track to become the world's 8th largest LNG exporter by 2026. But what makes this project even more remarkable is the involvement of the Heisler Nation, who were not just passive participants, they were active co-builders of the terminal. They secured over $500 million in contracts, including for low-emission tug services. This is an example of energy development that prioritizes local communities and sets the stage for indigenous-led projects around the world. Before we hit the gas and dive deeper, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It helps us reach more people who love both auto and energy news, just like you. Asia's energy pivot, the perfect timing for Canada. Now, let's talk about the global energy shift. Asia is rapidly moving away from coal and Russian gas. And Canada couldn't have picked a better time to debut its LNG exports. While the U.S. is trying to push its LNG on its allies with tariffs, Canada is emerging as a clean, stable, and politically neutral alternative. The LNG Law Glasgow, carrying that first shipment from Kitimat, is currently en route to Incheon, South Korea, and more tankers are on the way, like the Pottery, Jinjiang, and Diamond Gas Metropolis. By 2026, Kitimat will be sending out over 170 shipments annually, roughly one every 2 days. Why is demand so high? Proximity matters. By slashing transit times and avoiding choke points like the Suez and Panama Canals, Canada's LNG is faster, cheaper, and more reliable. And let's not forget about emissions. Montney gas has a lower carbon footprint than many other sources, and shorter shipping means a smaller environmental impact. When you combine that with a price that's nearly half the U.S. Henry Hub rate, Canada checks every box for energy-hungry Asian nations. The next chapter, doubling down on LNG. LNG. Canada's first shipment left Kitimat, and barely before it reached its destination, talks of expansion were already on the table. Phase 2 could potentially double the project's output from 14 million tons per year to 28 million tons, putting Canada among the top 5 LNG exporters globally. Shell has already set ambitious global expansion goals, aiming to add 12 million tons per year by 2030, and Kitimat is central to that plan. The infrastructure is in place to scale up, and the project is expansion-ready. But it won't be all smooth sailing. There are challenges ahead. Coastal builds are more expensive than those in the U.S. Gulf Coast, and British Columbia's Clean BC regulations raise compliance costs. Plus, investors are still cautious after a rumor about Petronas pulling out, though Shell remains committed. If Phase 2 goes forward, it would mean more jobs, deeper indigenous partnerships, and a longer-term economic boost for Canada. It would also solidify Canada's position as a reliable, stable LNG provider in a world full of energy uncertainty. Canada's LNG, a diplomatic game-changer. But LNG Canada isn't just about energy, it's about geopolitics. Canada's natural gas exports to Asia are transforming its position on the world stage. For years, Canada had energy to spare, but was geopolitically hamstrung, dependent on U.S. pipelines.
If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more updates and content. We've got plenty more coming your way.